that. To like create, like, I have created this thing, just one and this three loops, and then copy paste, copy. That's what I did. I've added all this like, you see, I took us I'll show this thing. Like, for this loop, this accessory, I took a loop, a ring, and then deleted this section and flattened the top surface with the help of Z modeler, and extracted these two pieces, well, like four pieces basically, and like modified it like cloth, sculpted basically. You see, this is like same thing like what I can see in the reference. I added those things, added all those details. It's open. Without pose, because for suppose you're creating this for one single pose render for your portfolio, so that time you have to pose your model and make sure like once you're done with the basic blocking and like most of the basic accessories and all, then you can pose your model. Otherwise, like if you don't pose it, if you see like in this kind of pose, it looks like okay, but not that impressive. If you pose it, it looks better. And if you like while posing, few of the elements will be will be like have some issues. It will like some distortion and all this thing will happen. So I have to fix those and recreate, either fix or recreate those things. So I'll tell you how to pose this model. Then after posing, you have to retouch your model from base, because some muscle stretch or some shape deformation, all this thing will happen. You have to correct those. Supposing like once you're done with the basic blocking, and yes, I received like two files. One from Sonam, one from Raj, and Tushar also. So this is like, I don't know what to say. Like this is something we did in the first week, and then I asked you to use base model. So I don't know. Like follow because we almost passed our more than 50%. Still, I get out practicing for more. This class file. This is like yes, it's way better than that one. There's still some structural issue and all. So, but yeah, bit better. Because thing is like what I feel from all these submissions, like you guys are not practicing at all. Because if you practice properly, this cannot be the result. This is okay like initially, but like if you practice for even for a week, you can fix all these things: proportions, scale, size. This is like this is better, but like spend a little bit more time. and like refinement is very important, like all these shapes, because you can see in your face, you can see an expression. So this it looks surprised, his eyes are like popping out, all those things. Just make sure fix those. Otherwise, it looks quite nice. You have added, got the basic detail proper. Add some like volume here, lips. Then move to your other part, and add all the details, and make sure like this width and the scale and all these things are correct. And like use like, okay, let's show this. Suppose this is your model, so I can see it very clearly. Like this is something like you just started. Oh. And I'll tell you the process how to take renders high quality, like really high quality and high resolution render. Like if you take render from ZBrush, it's usually it's not that high quality. So it should show that. So like you have this character. So you can see it looks like it's surprised. Eyes are like really big. So there are like two tools, like move tool, you know. There's one more, like suppose you are having difficulty refining your shapes a lot. Like first of all, like this, like this is like for basic blocking thing. This is way too high poly, but still you can manage, because like first you have to block out the entire section, all shape, volume. Then like be in low poly, that basic model without dynamation. Then you have to, like initially what I did, I used the base model. Top of that, I created like added as much as detail as possible. Then when I felt like okay, now it's not possible, I need to combine mesh and I need to add more detail. That time I dynamized it, and this is still way too high poly, because in high poly controlling is very difficult, and you need to have it like reasonably low poly, and then create block out everything, and then gradually move to high division. So okay, like for this character, like this ear is not there, so E, trim dynamics. I just flatten this up. Okay, like suppose you are using BMV, move brush, to refine your shapes. You can see you can refine it very nicely. Like you wanted to create a different like type of horn, that is also fine, because what I planned initially, like will create this character, at least a base, block out everything. Then you can just add your own stuff and modify it according to whatever you feel like. So you will have like a basic structure wise, it will be same characters, like same character, but will have a different accessories or different. Like I added those wings. That is something because I wanted to like change the original this concept art, because I was thinking instead of copying this exact same concept art, I copied the initially copied everything. Then I'm adding, once I copied it, now I'm adding extra things and changing things to make it my own. So you can like you can do, that's what I planned, but this like basic blocking is not still finished. So like make sure add things properly, And like suppose you're having difficulty with a move brush, you're not able to use it, you can use snake hook brush as well. Like suppose you are having difficulty using a snake hook, basically this brush gives you like a little bit more control and moves things more in a more sharper way. I can refine small things. Effect is kind of same. Effect is kind of same, but like you have you can try out both the brushes, whichever you find okay this works for me, so you can use that one, because there's no specific rule for that or which brush to use. You can use any brush to get the result. Now like you have this kind of expression, so you have to fix that. First thing first, eyes position. If you go back and check this thing, go back and check my old videos, you can see I have pushed out the eyes little bit. Reason, that eye cavity, that section, eye part was little bit protruding out, and this eyeball will be like this no matter what. Like it will be like this volume will be there. Then add your eyelid. Like look it like this. Like first you have to add, you have an eyeball, then you need to create that socket, that hollowness, then you have to create the first eyelid, top or bottom, any one there. And make sure whenever creating a model, it should not have any expression until unless you are creating something which already like reference that you have some expression, and you want to create that model in that particular expression for a single shot, then it's fine. Add those detail and like practice, that is everything. Because I can see from your models like you were guys not spending enough time. Like suppose you are doing something and initially don't go how you planned, or the way you wanted, you just leave it. No, you have to practice even more to get, because this is all about practice. If you don't practice, you will not be able to get those this thing. What do you call it? Those skills, like those control over because you have all the tools here. It just you need to know and practice and control those tools. It's all about that. You just see it and you have to just recreate those things directly. So it's all about that. If you're not able to do it, so it's going to be very difficult. And like always, whenever you're modeling, make sure check it from all the angles. Rotate your model, blend it nicely. This is volume. You can see from top view, this is wavy. It's not supposed to be wavy. Or you can use snake hook, B S H. snake hook. So B for brush, S for snake, H for hook. So this this shape, it should be correct from all the angles. From all the angles you have to check and fix it. So that's how you fix it. Okay. In this like third option, I can see have like added all those accessories and still it's in A pose. There are two types of pose when you create a model: A pose or T pose. This is like a little bit more posed. Its hands are relaxed down, uh, like uh, 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 we already moved the hands and all, and moved it slightly backward to get the posture like this, like really a huge giant character. So, okay, now suppose I have created my model. I have added the basic structural detail, basic shapes, and
Sir,
yes, tell me.
sir, you have created this one, sir.
Hmm.
Can you send this video also? It's
This
like
we
this.
which one?
You created by when you got free time.
Ha ha. Okay, I'll send that. So like that's the thing is I can send everything, but problem is like you are not guys are not practicing. So
Sir,
like I'm.
I'm just practicing. Just going to
Oh,
complete.
okay. So like once your your basic model is done, so like suppose now I want to create a pose or I want to change my model because this standing pose doesn't look very nice. So I can like in my other this one this screenshot you see it's floating. So I just use a reference for floating and made it floating and added some wings. So I can use anything. It depends. Like so there's a shortcut to pose. Like manually, I can pose it here also directly, but posing here will be very difficult because all the subtools are in a separate. Everything in a separate subtool. And you can see I have created a folder. There's an option new folder. Create a folder and put all the nanomesh models inside that because nanomesh are very heavy on your system. So I just made it little bit this group so I can hide it and work on my model. It becomes light. If I switch it on, you can see now it started lagging. So all those things you have to optimize your entire model, and while working, you make sure you optimize everything. Okay. Now, like suppose I want to pose your model. Go to Z plug. There's an option you can say transpose master, transpose like transfer pose. Hmm. So click this T pose master. Then it will basically read your entire model with all subtool, whatever you have in this model, and reduce everything into low poly, lowest division, lowest poly, and combine the entire model and open a new file. So that see when you see this pop up, it means your transpose is done. You can see a transpose. Now you have a new file with T-pose recover. Like that file got crashed, so I recovered it. So that's why it's named recover tool. So I have you can see my actual file and plus my this tool, this T-pose thing. So if I press Shift F, you can see what it does basically. Depending upon your sub tool, it basically polygroup everything separately. Like in my body I have multiple polygroups, but still it's combined everything and made one polygroup. So it becomes very easy to control and everything combined So you can look if you move if now I have moved the hand, it will move all the accessories to like along with this. So suppose and like while moving, so basic rule like I'm using lasso tool. Like selection, for selection you can use lasso, you can use any of the tool, but lasso is something I personally prefer. Suppose I want to like create the same pose or something like that. So like what I'll do, I'll select because I want to move the hand only. So I have to select the entire hand and zoom in. I can see this area. I cannot select. If I try to select this area, I will select some part of this chest area. So then what will happen when I move my hand? It will stretch that part. So that is something I don't want to do it. And I want to select my only this arm area. So I'll just check all the angles wherever it is, like all this area is visible. I'll just copy, like I just like mask, and this masking is based on your bone position, because from where your arms move, basically where you have bone and shoulder, you have this collarbone here and you have your shoulder bone here, joint here. So you need to create this selection based on that. Then still I can feel this area is missing. So what I'll do, go to, there's an option called masking, and you can see all the options are already available in Zbrush. Everything is already there. You just have to use them. Then I need to increase this section, this area, my grow selection. So you can just click on grow mask, grow mask, grow mask. Then you can make it sharpen your mask, grow mask. And like before moving, make sure your mask is blurred out from this section. Either you can click control and click blur it, or you can just use grow mask, or you can use blur mask. By this you can see, by this inside area also selected, and it basically extended. It basically follows the poly loops. So loops it follows, and select the entire section. Click control, oh sorry, I need to switch on that keyboard thing. Control, control and click outside to reverse the selection. Now I have this entire hand. This mask area is basically the area which is not going to move. It's not going to affect anything. Now you're going to move like this unmasked area. You're going to move. Press W. You have this gizmo. Press Alt. Move this. You can see I'm selecting this bounding box. You can use this also. Like pressing Alt. Make sure. Without Alt, you cannot move it. Then side pose. I'll bring it in the center. Where is my this thing bone position? I'll check it from all the angles. It's correctly placed. Then now I can do like whatever I want. Like I want to move my hand up. See, it stretches all these things. That is something we have to fix. But you can see your basic, like because you have sculpted all those bones and structure and everything. So most of the things will be in place, and your structural shape will be correct. Check all the angles, position it properly. If you want, you can rotate it slightly. But, you cannot rotate it from this part. So that is something about I was doing wrong. So suppose I want to rotate my hand. So now I'll mask this section again. and this elbow area. Control click, blur, alt, drag it to the center, like bone position. Your bone is not in the front; it's in slightly backside of your, like near to your elbow. Position it properly, because position is very important while moving your, like posing your character, posing your bones, because we don't have a rig, so we're just selecting and moving the entire character. Then alt click on this, it will reset the gizmo. Now if you want to rotate, you can rotate. Now I want to use from this phone, alt drag, blur mask. Then rest all these fingers you can, like whatever you want to, whatever pose you're following, you can, based on that you can modify things. Like similarly, suppose I want to move a leg or something, so for moving like this leg or some other area where you have a lot of accessories, for those areas you have to plan what you want to select and what you don't want to select. Because if you can see, technically this accessory is, it cannot bend, right? It cannot bend. Cloth can bend, this rope can bend, and this accessory also cannot bend, and this waistline won't bend because you're going to move your leg. So what I'll do, I'll press Control Shift and click on the body, or I can just simply exit from this thing. Isolate your body. Control Shift, click on the body. Isolate. Select your leg. Blur. Then deselect. Like the way it moves, basically. Deselect. Like selection is very important. Proper, correct selection. Select. Control Shift. Click outside. So now you can see all the accessories. So with this accessories, this part will move, and this, all these loose strands will move, and this can move. So what I'll do, and this won't move. So what I'll do is, I'll invert the selection, and now I'll go to this floor. Select that area you want to move outside. Okay. Yeah. So now you can see all these parts haven't moved, but when I try to move it, it will like collide with all these shapes. But that is something fine. I'll fix it later. because after posing also you have to fix bone position, move. Like all this thing I have separate selection so I can fix it very easily. Elbow, oh sorry, knee, blur it, position. And when you like move your leg, usually legs are like this. Oh, one more mistake is I forgot to select the knees. And in this case, if you use this outer white ring, it depends upon your camera angle, viewport. It uses that like in whichever angle you are, based on that it moves. And if you want to move in a specific direction, you can use all this red, blue, and green circles. Blur it, move it. So all this bend, all these things are fine. You have to fix it later. You can see automatically it retains the knee shape. Bone, select, blur, position, slightly down or slightly back. This is I have to like fix it, balance it. Blur, and it's all those details you have to sculpt it again and fix. And one more thing I have to do is blur, angle. Like if your legs are loose, it's little bit, it's almost straight in shape. So that angle you have to fix. You can see it becomes quite easy to create this entire shape structure. And suppose I want to like make this entire character sit or something like that. So what I'll do is make sure everything is properly selected. Blur mask. Center. Alt. Drag. Center and your spine position from where you usually you bend. You can blur it further. Then isolate this one. Select it. Select this thing completely. It moves with the head. Blur. You see, it can bend. Its entire like its structure moves with this. So it becomes quite easy to control. So like this, you can pose your entire model. Once you're like happy with your entire pose, and if you want to fix something, you can fix it here directly. Uh, like suppose all these lines and all these things. If you want to fix something, you can do it here directly. You can use move tool, position of your shoulder. Fix it. If you have like issues like this, smooth it. Saving. So you can fix things here, and then like once you're happy with your entire pose, then G plug. This time you have to press on T pose sub tool. This was T pose mesh, and this is T pose sub tool. Like it basically combines all the sub tool and create one single mesh, and now it will resplit and create all sub tools. Just click on that. You can see it's processing each and every sub tool. You can see it here. If you name it properly, you can see each and every sub tool selecting and changing things. Okay, see, it's posing everything and posing everything and along with your body, everything is aligning properly. And with this, you have all sub tools, all subdivision level, all detail level, all layers, everything you can retain, and you can update it. It will take some time and process, and it will show after processing. One window will pop up initially when you clicked it, you saw a window popped up. Until unless you see that window, it's not finished yet. You can see it took 1 minute 40 seconds to finish the entire thing. You can see now I have my entire model with all subtools. You see all subtools and everything is placed properly. Now I can just simply use this pose and render my actual model. So then posing is a bit tricky and it takes a lot of time to get the correct shape and posture. And with your this pose, you have to fix all the accessory as well. So if I show you show you my file. If I show you my file, you can see, zoom in. So you can see there's some issues. All these things, all these things I have to fix. Like after even I can see this shoulder position and this chest. This shape is not correct. I have to fix this shape as well. So I have to fix this shape and take a nice render. So for suppose you want to take render. So for rendering, your document size is very important because whatever you're doing is like if I show you initialize. Like suppose you are opening your file or this load you this thing uh, file. I open that old file. Characters. This one. If I open my file, you can go to document. You can see the document size. This is the document size. So when you render, you will get this render size. This is not even HD. So you can see you need to suppose you want to render, because if I open my render here, you can see it's quite big. It's you can see I zoom in, it's blurred out. So it's quite, my render is quite big, and I guess I have the file PSD. You see, this is my actual render. So you can see it's really high quality, and some issues are there. Those I'll fix later. This is not finished. So you can see it's really high quality. So how to get that? For that, for if I render this, suppose, and for rendering, ZBrush use BPR. So if you click this, it will render the file. It will render. It will take some time. because it's rendered this entire thing. But if you go to render this tab, you now if you go to render BPI render pass, you have a composite this render. If I save this like desktop, this one, and open it, you can see this is, if I zoom in, it's quite blur. It's not very big. So what I have to do is basically for to get this render really big and nice quality, I have to change my this document size. Double the size, yes. Maybe I want even bigger than this, and this is like quite fine. So I'll go, and then you can see now my image, this 3D model becomes so blurry and this thing. So what you have to do is you have to press Control N, then drag your model once again. Yes, T, and now you have to see, you can see this is your canvas, this is your entire canvas, your model size is this. You have to increase the model size. So what you have to do is zoom out. Now you can see this tiny border. If I like, now you can see this border. This is your actual canvas size and this is your model size. So you have to zoom, like increase your model. You can do it with this also, 3D zoom. This zoom zooms in your canvas. This zoom in on your model. So now I can just zoom in a bit further. So now my canvas size is quite big. Now if I render it out, because rendering also very important once you're done with your high poly, because you must have seen like in art section there are hundreds and thousands of models. They have their low poly rendered, their high poly rendered, and very good quality renders. So how to get those good quality big renders, this is the process, and nobody, this is something you cannot find anywhere online. So like then you're done, just export this. One second, this one, two different files, so that I'll show you the comparison. This is my one file, this is my second file. So you can see by default their position, and you can see scale. This is way too like, you see detailed. This is the size of the small actual. This is the actual pixels, and this is actual pixels. So you can see bigger. So you can just increase the resolution and get a bigger render. And if you go here in ZBrush render, you have all these passes. You have a mask also. It basically gives you the selection. So you can just simply export this. You have depth pass, you have shadows. If you can switch on ambient occlusion, like you have to go to your this thing, render properties, switch on triple S, ambient occlusion. You have so many passes. So switch on this them and export those passes, and then combine everything and take it and then modify your renders and add colors or add change things, add change background to get a good nice result. So I hope like from now onwards we will submit a nice rendered thing. Like these are like a basic I just explained you. We'll go into detail later.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Tell me.
So for posting it, we cannot export the model into any other softwares and post it in other softwares.
A high poly cannot, no? A high poly cannot do it. But low poly can export into other software and pose it.
Okay.
Na, low poly. Suppose you want to you want to create, like, if you create your model high poly pose, so you can
Yes,
create
sir.
a low poly model very easily in that pose only directly. So it becomes
Okay.
easy. This is what I'm doing for just for only one pose shot. If you have an animated character where you want to take full animation, or you want to pose multiple, you want to have multiple poses, that time you can take it to reduce the poly count, take it to max Maya, or you can use Mixamo and pose it. You can do that.
Okay, sir.
And Ashwin is here. Ashwin is not here. Okay. Hmm. Nitin is here. Dilip is also here. Dilip is always here, but never, he does not submit. He never submits anything. And Rakesh, Nitin is also here. Shiva is also here. Puneet is not here. Rajveer not here. Urmansam not here. Sonam not here. Tushar also not here. Like, now I expect to, like, at least while submitting, you use like BPR, and you can change lights. Like, if you want, you can change lighting from is this selection, and do things. You can change the color, like, if you want intensity. If you click it here, it will go. This light becomes backlight. If you click it again, it come to front. So back, some backlight, some, like, you can add some rim light and all, and then you can render it out. It's give you like nice result, nice render. You can switch on your perspective for 3/4 shots and all. And there's one more thing is there, Zappling. You have character sheet. If you click this, it basically uh, take all the front, back, side angles automatically. Those things are not that important. That is something like there are lots of, you can see ZBrush, it have a lot of tools. So it again depends on what you want to do with your model. Totally depends upon that. So if you want to add details, create things, and so, like, these are the basics. Yeah, this is how you add all details, and rest those all different. So just create this, and I hope practice this, submit some, because I can see from submission, like, nobody is near to clue, like, even finish, or even near to, like, you haven't added any detail. So till now, what I feel like Anshuman's file is it's quite good. Rest everybody was struggling, and you're not even practicing. So please practice and focus and submit properly, because these skills will take a lot of time to acquire these skills. So you need to, work really hard, practice, because when you go to industry and you ask to sculpt something, and if you're not able to do it, so it will be very difficult for you to land up a job if you don't know high poly. Like, trust me, if you if you want to learn it hard way, that's totally up to you. I can only guide you, but rest everything on you only. What you want to do? Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll move to, we'll add a little bit more details, and we'll start moving to low poly, so that in time we can finish our textures and texture and everything. Okay, bye bye.